This is Carl with the three things I'm watching for Friday, October the 3rd. Starting out, Brazilian weather is starting to be a little bit more of a factor in the market. Nothing real critical taking place in Brazil right now. However, we have seen some delays to soybean planting. It's been a little bit dry. Supposed to get some rains here in Brazil in the next week or so that we'll see soybean planting pick up. But China watching this very, very closely. China needs soybean coverage for that end of December, January, February time slot. Any delays to the Brazil soybean planting, obviously going to delay harvest, similar to how it did last year, does open up the door for a little bit more U.S. soybean trade into China. We'll be watching that because China does. I fully believe they're going to buy some soybeans from the United States this year. I think they could bypass us if they wanted to, but I don't know if China really wants to. The question is how much. I don't think we say huge soybean sales to China simply because we don't have the grain, but we've talked about that. Second thing I want to talk about, and this is the same topic, it's soybeans going into China, but these coming out of Argentina. Last week on the tax break holiday, China bought a reported 35 vessels of Argentine soybeans. Now, I want to see if Argentina performs on that. And I want to see if China actually takes delivery of these soybeans. China, very, very big on quality. Argentina, not so much. And a lot of Argentine soybeans, they filter in from Paraguay, Uruguay, the other countries in South America. So you might not be getting Argentine soybeans. It'll be interesting to see if China really wants these or they bought them as a backstop in case of the Brazilian planning delays. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns here. Bottom line is, I want to see China take delivery of them. I have a feeling that they're probably not going to. I wouldn't be surprised China didn't resell these into the global market, especially if we get some crushers a little bit tight on inventory this year. So something to keep an eye on there. Third and final thing here on Friday I'm watching is the U.S. economy. And the U.S. economy is still pretty strong, but boy, we're seeing a lot of cracks in the dam here. Holiday shopping hires, new hires for the holiday shopping season. A lot of stores saying they're not going to. They expect temporary jobs, temporary hirings through the holiday season this year to be the lowest since 2009 is the last estimate I saw. Couldn't tell you what that was then, just it's going to be the lowest since then. Bottom line is with what's going on in the government and the labor force, it likely will slow down some U.S. spending. That's probably not the worst thing because it may keep interest rates steady or even cause them to decline a little bit. If our spending continues the way it had, there's some calls we could see interest rates ratchet up a little bit. We do not want that right now. I expect interest rates. We do have a meeting at the end of the month. The Fed says they will meet regardless of information they get out of the White House. So interesting. We'll see what happens there. All in all, though, the U.S. economy is showing signs of slowing a little bit. That is good news for interest rates moving forward, unfortunately. Those are the three things I'm watching today.